let's say we're gonna do we're gonna move it down to another chord, which would be in A minor, it would be G major. Same thing. You're going G, B, D, and same thing. G, B, D. Those are like 5 string, and it's kind of just, you follow the chord. Like you see a chord progression. Ideally, you see a chord progression and you're like, oh, I know all my arpeggios. Don't just do arpeggios over the whole thing, because it gets boring and people just, yeah. So I don't know if you want to talk about technique about sweep picking.
Can I ask a
yeah,
question
man.
about chord progressions? How do you, I guess this would be the struggle for anybody, but like how do you ride the line between like a functional progression and something that's not incredibly derivative and like done 1,000 times, you know? Because we all hear those same progressions,
yeah,
and it's like our head, we just want to go to that chord, you know? And
yeah.
It's just like,
it's I mean, I guess like to me with like most progressions, you can only go like to a certain point until you start copying other people's progressions. But I think it's just mainly spicing it up with like different notes here and there. So like rather than like maybe like that you can like. It sounds different, like adding certain minute differences to the notes, it can kind of change everything from like kind of progression. And I mean that's how like I fumble around with like music. So just kind of knowing like maybe like the minor and major scales, you can pick off notes here and there to build off like chords, and then also too with like crazy like. And that's a whole another story, just like how to like construct chords. I don't know like the full process of it, but like changing like certain like notes and within the root notes and. Like it gives you all these different like arrangements. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the end of the day, you just kind of want to follow your ear, because sometimes you just, like you're saying, it wants to go there, and you don't always need to fight that. You know.
Yeah. I guess that's the question, like riding that line.
Yeah.
We wanna, you guys write like not in insult. This is a compliment. Like very catchy music. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely kind of try to, you know. You definitely want to, you know, like they say, you don't go home after a show humming the light show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing, and you're also, you got to think of like what he was saying with like all the elements that are happening, just because it's like a chord progression, you know, like an overlying chord progression. You know, it's gonna be a different tempo than whatever chord progression you think you're taking from. You're gonna be adding like passing tones. You're hopefully singing different lyrics and melodies, you know. And at the end of the day, if like there's only so many combinations. Like I think if you go on YouTube, there's like somebody who did the same 4 chords and they like I don't know, it's like 100 songs they did like back to back. But there's only so many combos. But that's the fun thing. If you want to like push it, you know, and find something, you always like. We'll stumble on, like, let's say, like, you know, been done a million times, right? You know, like, essentially it's E, G, D, but you get these little cool passing tones, and now it's your own, like, thing, you know. You know, and then you add, like, all these different, like that chord. So major 7, G major 7, and it sounds all jazzy and everything. But you put in a chord progression, it's just a G. You're going, and in fact, like a lot of blues and everything is like 1-4-5, a lot of country. There was a time like in the 50s where you kind of couldn't even get on the radio unless you're doing. Like everybody was playing the same chord progression, and so now we can play any chord progression we want. So don't feel too bad, I guess, about like following your ear and everything. So
And then you can also use like progressions already made as like a building block. So like you got like, like standard blues and like 8-bar kind of thing. So like you can use those chord changes to kind of like figure out like different ways to actually build like maybe like a solo progression or like doing songs. And then yeah, and like I would say not to get into like the habit of just like non-stop like just like you know, try to do different let the notes breathe and like let them rest, or like like, and it'll kind of help out with like if you're working with like a vocalist, like those rest notes can be for him to for the singing, and like next thing you know you got this like catchy song, so it's crazy. I mean when it gets to that point, like you can even make like your bassist do some other crazy stuff, like, and then it's just like on a whole new level of just craziness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. You could like take an easy chord progression, write like passing tones and riffs in it. Like let's say like My Last Attack. That's like a riff, it's okay. But it's actually just, and then so there's a G sharp minor, and then and then I'll go to like an A major. So that's basically, and then I'll go B, and then C sharp minor. You're doing a pop song. It's basically. But it wasn't like, I mean, the fun thing was like when I came up with that, it wasn't like, all right, pad of paper, Luna's got some lyrics, just writing it down, and kind of like that Stain video where he's just like with an acoustic guitar. Oh yeah, that's really good, and then writing it. It didn't happen that way. It was like a riff. And I just like within a bunch of other. Actually, it got changed. The second open E. It was like I did like a triplet thing. I tried too much, and it was originally. Which like that's a lot going on. So sometimes you.
Can you play the harmony to that?
Yeah. One, two, three, four. Now we go over that. We'll give the main lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, you're good. You're like, no, this is how you play it. And with like songwriting, like the next part is just. So you leave it open for the vocals. You're not always like trying to like write riffs and just show off. Not all the time. Basically.
But then it's cool.